my first calendar year selling real estate, I made a whopping $13,000. Okay? That is not something people would put you on a stage to talk about. They wouldn't put you on a podcast and be like, excuse me, sir, how exactly did you make below the poverty line? And they wouldn't like coach you to teach them how to do that, correct? The problem was because I was getting the wrong data. I was being told things that wouldn't allow me to be in control, like sitting in open houses. I'm not in control, am I? I just gotta wait with the cookies, that's it. I was being told to put my name tag on things and smile at people at the grocery store. Am I in control there? No. So because I didn't have any control, and if control equals money, I had no money. That's exactly how that works. Okay? But then I got access to information that taught me how to regain control, what I should focus on, what lead sources that don't come with any referral fees attached. And then I went from $13,000 in a calendar year to doing 17 transactions to 50 to 75 to 89 to 100. I did 100 deals a year for 10 years in a row and did 200 deals a year twice. This is where you clap. Okay. So, and I believe, I really do, that everybody in this room with the right understanding of how control is being taken away and being equipped with the right strategies and where to stack skills on top of, you can do everything I've done in this business or Jose has done in this business in less time. Okay? Now, I've spent the last 17 years of my career, I sold over 2,000 properties, 18, who's counting? I don't know. Did 100 homes a year for 10 years in a row. I started a coaching company that was recently named the top coaching companies by Housing Wire in 2025 for those people that want to learn what to say and how to say it. I own part of an office. I sold it back, participated with EXP, and in 2 years and 9 months, I've attracted 400 agents to the Elite Builder Nation, coast to coast. Yeah. I'm really going to set the frame for the remainder of the Do More Deals Summit. And then everybody's going to speak into that frame because everybody's an expert, okay, in those particular areas. And the frame that I'm going to set is very specifically, none of you guys are going to walk out of this room and not understand how control is being taken away from you, and it's aggressive. They are aggressively moving after taking control away from you, okay? And who they are and what they're doing. The second thing I'm going to go over with you is a very specific, clear blueprint. Not like, you can do it. That's like sending people into the battle with like a bow and arrow. Like, you're going to die. That's what's going to happen. A very specific blueprint and lead sources that you could be focused on. How many people have too many leads? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay? Lead sources that you could be focused on that don't have any referral fees attached where you are completely in control. So that way you can do more deals in 2025 and in perpetuity moving forward. Who's up for this? Say aye. Aye. I'm sorry. We did not get on planes, spend time away from loved ones, get all dressed up this morning for that level of energy, okay? So high energy equals high income, guys. The energy that you bring to this information that we're going over together right now is the same energy that you're going to bring to it when you're reviewing it at home, okay? So I'm going to ask you again. Who's up for doing more deals in 2025, being highly profitable? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, Jose, I'm in the right room. Yeah. All right. So if you give up control of your revenue stream, you're actually extremely vulnerable. Now, why would you be vulnerable if you give up control of a revenue stream? Who wants to tell me?
You won't have money.
Huh? Yeah, that's one of the outcomes. You won't have money. The reason why you're very vulnerable is because whoever controls the lead controls how much it costs. Oh, that's a problem. Yes? Interesting. Okay? So, this is what actually happens during a real estate transaction. There's a race that's happening. Okay? And at the beginning of the race, somebody signs a contract. Yes? At the end of the race, there's a closing, and you go, yippee, and you do your stupid picture with a key. Which doesn't help anybody, by the way, okay? You're not positioning yourself as a guide to help anybody solve anybody's problems. But in between there, a bunch of people get paid, yes? The inspector gets paid, the appraiser gets paid, Home Depot gets paid, the insurance, all these people get paid, okay? Let me ask you guys a question. Before this race starts, where are consumers going, buyers and sellers? I'm sorry, louder? The internet, yes, that's where they're going first. And some very smart people realize that this is what's happening. Now, let me ask you a question. At the end of the race, once a closing happened, where are they going back to figure out what their house is worth and all that other stuff? I'm sorry, louder? Yeah, not you. So they're going back to the internet as well. Now, this creates a very interesting problem, and I need you to understand this is the mechanism that they're using to take control away from you. Yes or yes? 100%. Okay? So, as a result, two types of companies have sprung up. The first one, they actually want the buyers and sellers. Yeah? An example of that would be Redfin. They're an aggregator of data. They know people are looking before they call you. Yes? And then you know what they say to them? Hey, by the way, we have agents. Yeah, and we can get you pre-approved. Yeah, don't call that pesky agent. That's what they're doing. And another example of that would be Open Door. Hey, you don't need to put on the market. We'll just give you a offer. Yes? Remember, who's ever's in control? You see what I'm saying? This is how control is being taken away. Now, there's other companies, they're not interested in taking the buyer and seller themselves because they know it's too much work. They're like, no way, I don't want to do that. So what they do is they find the person online, they get them to fill out a form, and then they refer them to an agent to actually do the work. And they take what in return?
Fees.
I'm sorry, louder?
Fees.
And how much?
A lot.
Yeah, you see all the agents? A lot, too much. Yes? 30, 35, 40%. Yes? And by the way, their ultimate goal is the referral fee is entry into the transaction. Then do you know what they start to do? Anybody who's ever done business with them, what do they start to do?
They want you to use your title company.
They want you to use their title company, mortgage company, escrow, and all that stuff. Yes?
Yeah.
And if you don't, what do they threaten?
They won't give you-
No more weeds for widow owed you. Because you are not in
Control.
Oh no, but we'll run to them. Oh yeah, please give me that widow weed. Yes?
Yes.
So you end up having to do more deals and make less?
Money.
That's a problem. Is everybody clear on the mechanism how control is being taken away?
Yes.
Okay. So then what ends up happening, and I need you to understand something, these companies view you in one way. No, you guys are up here, you're like, yeah, my business. Do you know how they view you? You're an employee. Do you know how I know this? Because in 2021, we did $200,000 in commissions with one of those referral companies, and then do you know what they started to do? They wanted me to be on a call with them once a week. They wanted to check up with me on my lead follow-up. Wait a minute, let me get this straight. Somebody who used to be in real estate and wasn't good at it and now is a manager at your company is checking up with me who makes $1 million a year on my lead follow-up. How does that make sense? Yes?
Yes.
Then they started to give me extreme static. Oh yeah, you sent us 5 referral fees this month. Thank you for that, by the way. You didn't use our title company, our escrow, and our mortgage. Frowny face. And if you don't, by the way, subtly, we're gonna take those widow weeds away. So then what do? Okay, fine, you need me to be on that stupid call with that stupid person? Sure, I'll do it. Guys, if you're not in control, you don't make that much money. Okay, I'm just checking. I just want to make sure you tracking?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. And this is how they view you. They definitely view you as an employee, 100%. So you have a choice. Agents are faced with a choice today. They can either be on a team or they can be on their own. When we look at this choice, let's see what that ends up looking like in practice. You ever seen a mama bird feed a baby bird? Yeah. You know what the mama bird does? They go out and hunt, kill the worm, and then they spit it in the baby bird's mouth. Who's in control there? The mama bird. What do we do as agents to these lead sources like this? Oh, yes?
Yes.
So look, where does the lead come from? It's coming from all of those sources on the internet, yes? That come with referral fees. You have a split with them, and how much money do you end up making? I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it again. How much money do you end up making?
Less.
Nothing. You make a referral fee for doing all the work. So the agent ends up keeping very little because they are not in control. Or you could be an individual agent. You're doing your own thing, and you're still messing around with these providers. Yeah? You end up working basically like an employee for them. How fast do they want to call those people back? Do they measure you with the speed? What happens if you, and because I know you've done business with them, Deirdre, are they monitoring the speed with which you call them back? Yes. Do they give you static if it slows down? Do they care if you were with your kids at a soccer game? It's a choice. Don't get mad at them. Yes? It's just a game. Don't get mad. If you could take control, you would. Now here's the third option. Well, before we get to the third option, the problem with this one is, anybody besides me hear about that TCP rule change thing? Yeah. If you're like me, most people when it first came out, you're like, what is that? I don't know what that means. Yeah? Okay. Well, essentially, we've been given a 11-month now grace period. So if you mess around with these lead providers, it's about to radically change in 11 months. The reason is because the rules have changed. They used to be able to get somebody to click on a website and they can sell that lead to an unlimited amount of agents. Yeah? How many people besides me have ever dealt with them and they're like, yeah, we only give it to 3 agents, and you call the person, we've had 45 phone calls. Yes? That's because of this rule change, you see? Well, you know what the rule change now says? You can only give it to one person. And you have to tell them who it is. So if you're this lead provider and you're spreading the cost of the leads over a bunch of agents, 10, 20, 30, 40 agents, what happens when you have to give only one agent the cost? What happens to the cost of lead? Oh, and does it go up a little bit or a lot? A lot, team. And you'll get mad, you'll blame the weather, you'll blame the environment, you'll blame the administration, but what's the real reason you are not in?
Control.
That's it. And this is what's happening, okay? So that TCP, that's the old model. It's one to many, and new, it's going to be one to one. So the cost of lead is going to go up dramatically. Okay, so here's what an agent in control looks like. You like that? ChatGPT is dope. The first one that came back, it was like a soft agent. I'm like, nah, it needs to be like Leonidas. Okay. The agent in control, they have lead sources and the skills, by the way, to convert those lead sources. Do any of these have referral fees attached to them?
No.
Would any of these put you in control?
Yes.
Does it require you learn new things?
Yes.
Do you like that?
Yes.
No. You don't. You do. In fact, you detest it. But listen to me. Leaders anticipate, everybody else reacts. What I'm giving you is an anticipation of what's coming. And the cool thing is it's on video. So then a year from now, you're like, but nobody told me. I'm like, excuse me. Sure did. You didn't listen. So that's what an agent in control looks like, okay? They have control of lead sources. So that's what's happening. That's how control is being taken away. So now we're going to shift into, okay, what do I need to do about it, right? How can I regain control? In order to do that, first I need to understand the context of the market. So, I was playful. I was like, hey, 2023, 2024 is a little bit of challenging time, sell real estate. Well, this graph shows us why. Transaction volume year over year dropped 28%. In where Jose's from, units went down 50%. Everybody's like, hashtag thriving. It's like, no, you're not. You're broke. The ones laughing hardest have done that. That's why. So this is reality. Now, when I tell people this, you know what they say to me? Well, you're being really negative. And I'm like, that's dumb. Okay? Don't confuse negativity just because you don't like what's being said with what's true. Yeah? Well, you need to think positive, Aaron. No. You need an accurate assessment, okay? If we were Navy SEALs and I'm like, there's a guy over there that's trying to kill us, I'm like, well, we need to think really positive about the situation. No. I want a tactical and precise plan, right? Josh knows. I need a tactical, precise plan to go in and do what we need to do. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the context. So what do we need to do about this? So if there's less opportunities in the marketplace, which we've all agreed that's what's true, there's only 4 ways to grow a business, guys. The first way is to increase leads, yeah? And we're going to talk about where you could be finding leads that are actually converting. Because when you go from 6.5 million to 3.9, and 90% of people have mortgages less than 6%, and 60% of people have mortgages less than 4%, who's selling? Only people that have to. But the second way to increase your business is conversion. Because if there's less opportunities, what does that mean about listing appointments? Are they more valuable? Yes. If you are winging it, that is dumb. If you're like, oh my God, Josh, you have a puppy, I have a puppy, yay, we should be friends, you should listen to me, that's stupid. In our next episode, that's a weight loss program, because you'll starve to death. You need to get a real job that has benefits. I'm role playing twice a day, 6 days a week, and I'm handwriting out stuff. So I'm practicing an hour and a half a day, 6 days a week. People in my office be like, what are you doing? That's silly, ha ha ha. I never see you out anywhere. I'm like, I never see you at the bank.
Creative finance is the greatest thing on the planet Earth. You might say no to both of these, Mr. Seller, but I just want you to know I have the buyers today.
So by sharing, it completely expands and explodes his network.